What's an opinion you have that might piss some people off? Having a flirty personality isn't a real thing. Anyone who's a self-proclaimed flirty person just wants to be able to flirt with everything with a pulse with no consequences. Whether they're dating someone, whether they're in a talking stage, whatever, they just want to be like, I can't help it, I just have a flirty personality. No, you don't. You just like flirting with people. You can be talkative and kind and not claim yourself as a flirty person. So if you're going like out of your way to be like, I just have a flirty personality, you know what you're doing. What's an opinion you have that might piss some people off?
If someone is talking shit about you and one of your friends tells you exactly what they said about you, to the point of it just being cruel and not helpful, that means they're shady, they're not loyal, and you should not be friends with them.
What's an opinion you have that might piss some people off?
Water isn't wet. There are two types of people in the world. People who think Marmite is disgusting and people who are wrong. There is no such thing as American English. There is English and then there's mistakes. American football is just rugby for pussies. Thanos did nothing wrong. The sequels were nothing more than a cash grab by Disney. In other words, a fucking abomination. Michael Jackson is innocent. Johnny Depp is innocent. They really were on a break. The next species to go extinct should be snakes. If a massive spider comes into your house, it is perfectly legal and acceptable to squash it. It is pronounced aluminium. And mayonnaise is camel spunk. Good night.
What's an opinion you have that might piss some people off?
One of the best tools for marketing low-quality horses is the kill pen.
What's an opinion you have that might piss some people off?
I'm just going to skip the bullshit formalities and go head first like a fat kid at a pie eating contest. Effective immediately, we should remove warning labels off of everything. If you want to use a hairdryer to dry your hair while you're still in the shower, or if you want to iron your shirt while you're still wearing your shirt, do you, boo-boo? I think at this point in time, we really just need to let natural selection do its thing and weed out the dumbass people. The reason I say this is because the one thing we're lacking as a whole society these days is common fucking sense. You literally had to be told not to eat laundry detergent. Like, what the fuck? And before anybody says it's to prevent lawsuits, if you stick a hot curling iron up your bunghole or use a lit match to check the fuel level in any vehicle, you get what you deserve. Whichever way it works out, they're only gonna do it once. I fucking hate it here.
What's an opinion you have that might piss some people off?
Y'all gonna kill me for this, but it needs to be said. Star Wars has some of the best lore, the best world building of any creation. But the movies suck. The movies are bad. Bad acting, bad fighting, bad storytelling. They're just bad. But I'm still gonna tell you that I'm a huge Star Wars fan because the lore, the world building, it's so good. The actual characters and what they're supposed to mean, so good. And they've had 9 times they get it right, and they've just crapped the bed 9 times. How do you fail 9 times when you have such perfection at your fingertips? How do you mess it up 9 times?
What's an opinion you have that might piss some people off?
Just because you give your kids a little bit of screen time with a tablet does not make you a bad parent. But you should only give your child 30 minutes of screen time a day. Man, shut up. Can you tell me something more sacred than downing a coffee and taking a fat shit afterwards in peace? I didn't think so. Man, if it is a crime to let Mickey Mouse or Blippi step in and be a temporary stepfather so I could do something for my mental health, throw my ass in jail. Tell them I even throw in the free egg roll for the life. As a parent, only you know what's best for you and your kids. You can't take care of your kids if you can't take care of yourself. Peace.
What's an opinion you have that might piss some people off?
The George Floyd statues don't really make sense. Hear me out. We took down Confederate statues of actual historians, and then we put multiple up of a criminal?
What's an opinion you have that might piss some people off?
That women are the superior sex. I mean, imagine dudes can't even fathom what it's like to live in a woman's body. Imagine going through puberty with all of those hormones and then that happening to you, and then you have decades where you can't even go a singular month without your body turning on itself. And then you're supposed to, grow a human and have it catapult out of you? No. And then your reward for decades of dealing with that is menopause. Not to mention the expectations of society on that woman who's now created a child with a chest to take care of on top of being boss babe, while maintaining her beauty standards, but of course not too beautiful, because if we're too beautiful, then she's dumb. And this is all that she's worth. And during all of that, having to keep their eyes out in parking garages for men. Meanwhile, boys just grow some hair, lose some hair, drink beer, and then have a meltdown when they don't get the attention they think they deserve.
What's an opinion you have that might piss some people off?
If you are consistently late and make it a part of your personality, oh, you should know that I'm always late, you're rude, you're selfish, and all you're doing is telling everyone else that you don't give a shit about their time. And the only person that matters is you. Grow up.
What's an opinion you have that might piss some people off?
Men are insanely entitled and it drives me insane. Case in point is this audio that's going around right now that's like, men aren't loved unconditionally, but women are, and that is the biggest crock of shit I've ever fucking heard. As an example, in married couples, right, if a woman becomes terminally ill, the man will leave almost every single time. But if the man becomes terminally ill, the woman will stick by your side to the bitter end almost every time. Why? Because when a woman becomes terminally ill, she can't do all the work around the house, all the mental playing, all that stuff that she normally does. So it gets dropped in the guy's lap. He's incompetent. His brain short circuits and now I can't have sex. So he divorces you and bam, you're dying alone. Real unconditional love, eh, fellas? Nobody gets loved unconditionally by anyone except for maybe your mother if you're lucky and have a good mom. And then men have the audacity to be upset. Women want you to maybe be a bit of a provider. God forbid they want some, financial stability in their life and for you to have a job, be able to afford a car payment, rent, and then be able to take them out on dinners and on vacations every now and then. Oh, so entitled. Fuck you. You're not entitled to shit.
What's an opinion you have that might piss some people off?
I'm about to trigger some of you girls that have been posting these videos about being lucky and getting to marry somebody who will let you stay home and travel and be a stay-at-home mom. I'm a divorce lawyer, and let me tell you, unfortunately, half of the marriages in this country are not working out. And what happens with women like you that are so lucky is that as soon as there's a problem in the marriage, you don't have the ability to leave. You don't have the ability to support yourself. You don't have the ability to leave if you want to. And a lot of times, alimony and child support are not sufficient for you to continue living the way that you are. In fact, that is the case the vast majority of the time. So when you're considering yourself lucky, maybe you want to be stacking away some Kroger gift cards, because if your marriage doesn't work out, you're going to need them. Maybe think about how to take care of yourself. Good advice.
What's an opinion you have that might piss some people off?
I'm not calling y'all crazy, but women have every right to be if they want to. Think about it. Y'all go through the most mentally and physically, and yet you're told to act like a lady. Y'all have to even expect some sort of sexual harassment or sexual assault from the opposite sex because boys will be boys. A lot of y'all can't even go a good month without your body acting crazy. Cramps? That alone is enough to go on a psychotic rampage. A lot of women are even taught, especially back in the day, to be submissive, to cook, to clean, to take care of, and carry children for men that they knew and know are not going to treat them right and don't see them as equal. Some of y'all are taught that your man is going to cheat on you and that you should be okay with it. Long story short, your life is a lie. Nothing y'all deal with is okay. And you deserve to be mad every damn day.
What's an opinion you have that might piss some people off?
The real reason why straight people sexualize LGBTQ people and are constantly talking about what goes on in the bedroom in regard to them is because straight people center sex in their own relationships a lot more than we think they do. And this is because men and women have been socialized to be so incompatible that sex tends to be the glue in a majority of their relationships. How do I know this? Well, I just so happen to suffer from not one, but two conditions that affect my sexual functionality. I've been told I'll never have a successful relationship until I get fixed. People have expressed to me that my boyfriend is probably suffering and that if he did cheat on me, it would be justified. I've even been called a waste of space. All because I have difficulty having heterosexual traditional sex. Straight people judge and criticize members of the LGBTQ's sex life because they center sex in their own relationships. It's typical projection.
What's an opinion you have that might piss some people off?
The fact that y'all think body dysmorphia only has to do with being afraid to get fat shows me that you actually have no clue what you're talking about when it comes to this topic. Every month, like clockwork, there's always a fat-phobic trend on here that's some iteration of skinny people being like, whew, thank God I'm not as fat as my brain tells me that I am. And then when they get called out for being fat-phobic, they say, well, it's not my fault, I just have body dysmorphia. I genuinely don't think that y'all know the difference between having poor self-image and having body dysmorphia. Body dysmorphia is a very pervasive kind of obsessive compulsion. It's not you feeling bad about your body sometimes or being afraid to get fat. The intrusive thoughts and the fixation on imperfections takes up your whole life. And it's interesting how y'all only bring that up when it comes to the topic of weight. What about the other symptoms? What about skin picking? What about obsessing over body odor? What about looking in the mirror all the time? What about the way your hair looks? What about those?
What's an opinion you have that might piss some people off?
Keto is trash. 1,200 calorie diets are trash. Cardio is useful, it's healthy, but it's trash. Protein oats, trash. Alani Nu protein powder, trash. Bang energy drinks, used to be good, trash. The whole entire fitness industry, trash. The fact that girls just started working out last year and they have millions of followers, trash.
What's an opinion you have that might piss some people off?
Alright, I am ready. About 99% of all of y'all about to be really mad, and I ain't even playing around. Alright, get this. I was homeschooled, right? I have never been to a public school. No grade school, no middle school, no high school, and definitely no college. So a little after I turned 18, I graduated homeschool high. My mom just went on the computer and printed off a little diploma for me saying I graduated from homeschool high. Now this is the part that's going to piss all of y'all off. That homeschool diploma took me just as far as a high school diploma, and I never had to prove anything. That's the thing about the school systems, is they don't care. It's just glorified babysitting. Y'all could have stayed home your whole life and never had to go to public school, and your moms could have just print you off a fucking graduation certificate, and you'd be just as far in life. Sorry.
What's an opinion you have that might piss some people off?
Now that I'm done with college, I officially hold a history degree, and that means that I have at least some warrant to talk about this. America is like comically evil. Like tie it to the train tracks evil. Like big phony mustache fucking over Latin America evil. Like lab coat and destroying the Middle East evil. Like imprisoning the Japanese evil. Like petting a cat so they can go into Vietnam and claim that they tried to attack us so we could go to war for profit evil. Like Dominican Civil War of 1965 evil. Like still practicing colonialism but just calling them territories to make it sound better evil. Like purposely not treating their own people of syphilis when they were dying but claiming that they were going to give them healthcare kinds of evil. Like being founded on slavery but people are trying to say that they're not evil. Like Hitler's gas chambers were inspired by what we did at the border evil.
What's an opinion you have that might piss some people off?
Concept of straightness was basically created to make women prisoners to men. Because as we see on this app over and over, men don't actually like women. They want to have sex with female anatomy, they don't like women. If you followed me for a while, you know my Straight Guys Aren't Straight series, but this basically puts it into a nice pretty bow for you. People are afraid of queerness becoming more and more accepted because women are more and more leaning into that queerness. And so are some men, which is awesome. What it means is that more and more women are going to start to pair up with other women and leaving these awful human beings who are unevolved, emotionally unintelligent, and just downright abusive by themselves, with no prisoner but each other. I'm not saying that men and women can't be actually attracted to each other, but remember, it's all a construction at this point. And as you undo it, you see that one group of people is definitely benefiting more than the other, and that's not the way it's been in history so far. Love you, ladies.
What's an opinion you have that might piss some people off?
I do not donate to business charities. Now that the holidays are coming up, you guys are going to see a lot more stores asking you to donate to charities, whether it's $1, $2, any amount. And I always say no, and here's why. Those companies are going to take a part of those donations and donate them to the charity that they're telling you they'll donate them to. But they're going to turn around and use those donations as tax write-offs. So instead of Walmart donating the money to, say, a company like St. Jude's, we're the ones who are donating. They're not donating anything, and they get out of paying taxes.